Welcome to GouldFish Plays CSI Miami, a game developed by 369 Interactive and published by Ubisoft back in 2004. This game is actually based on the first couple of seasons of CSI Miami, as you can tell by its cast. So let's get right into it and start a new game.
Welcome to the Miami-Dade Crime Lab. To begin your orientation...
And if I can spell my name right, a reoccurring problem in this game, well, spelling anyway, we can start. Now I hope you've all got your best Who impression ready, because they could not afford the license to the music. So, yeah! Oh, I almost peaked. I almost peaked too early. We've got to select a difficulty first, and it's going to be advanced, not expert or beginner, because I probably can guess how to play this game. So 3, 2, 1, yeah! So case 1, later Gator. Now you'll notice that it loads up pretty quickly, but then it will sit for a little while. And why it does that, we can talk a little about this game and the developers, because I think all they really did was a whole bunch of CSI games, to be honest, and there was a whole load of them for the original series and only one for CSI Miami. And I don't know if there's any for, is it CSI New York or something? I'm not sure. And we're in already.
Welcome to CSI Miami, but any tour of our facility will have to wait. You're heading out to the golf course. Oh, it's no day off. Got a Vic out at Palm Glen Country Club, or a piece of our Vic anyway. Callie is already waiting for you at the club. She's your partner on this first case.
Ugh. It's like someone melted a really bad sex doll.
Gameplay difficulty, hit the escape key on your keyboard at any time.
It's horrible. Ugh. Let's get away from this. It has to be better after this point, right? Oh, we got to have our establishing shots. CSI was known for its establishing shots. Yep, that's a golf course. That's still a golf course. And that's it. Oh, there we go. There is our namesake. There's the Gator.
Hey,
and,
I'm Callie.
oh,
it's going to be great to work together.
Fucking Lord.
It looks like we've got our hands full on this one, so let's ask around and see if we can find out what happened here.
If you are stuck on a case, you can often get help from your CSI partner. Clicking on a question will ask your partner for a hint. However, all hints will count against you in your final evaluation.
I think I'd rather not have to look at my partner. Wow, it's like a scarecrow came to life and then was melted. Ugh. Ugh. Right, let's just start. Hopefully the rest of the models are better.
I'm Ty.
Yeah?
Ty Landon, golf pro and assistant manager here at the Glen. Palm Glen, that is. Hey, I appreciate you getting out here so fast. This isn't the kind of golf hazard we usually go in for.
Yeah, get ready.
You want to talk to the judge, Judge Lawford. He's the one who stumbled onto this oversized handbag.
Thank you for interrupting me. I was going to say something, but his interruptions just lobbed it straight out of my brain. Oh yeah, get ready for a lot of puns and wordplay on just about any and every subject they can shoehorn it into. So let's get down to it. I will try and read out all the questions before I click it, so if you're just listening along, you can at least work out what it is I'm trying to do, and I'll try and talk about the process through the game. Whether or not it's fun and interesting, we'll see. I'm new to this. So, let's start off. Do alligators often get onto the course?
We've had the occasional gator come calling. We're the closest club in town to the Everglades, you know, but nothing like this before.
Have you had any I can't even talk or even read. Have you had any similar incidents previously?
No incidents, no trouble. Just visitors that we yelled at and scared off from a distance.
Is everyone on the course accounted for?
Hey, I'm relieved to report that every foursome is accounted for. Nobody missing.
Foursome.
Nobody missing a limb either.
You've been helpful, Mr. Landon. You'll be at the club all day?
Oh yeah, sure. And when you finish with your crime scene, guess who gets to clean up after? What a crock, huh? So to speak.
That's all the questions we have for now.
So, someone probably dead. There's just a limb, but hey, we have time to make crocodile and alligator jokes. And we got a new person. We're with CSI. Who are you?
Well, I'm Judge Walter Lawford. Thought I knew all the CSIs, but when a man retires, the world keeps spinning, doesn't it? I traded in the bench for the fair way. The only crime here at Palm Glen is cheating on your golf score, and I never have to judge anything but the distance to the green. How can I help?
Ho 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 ho. Ho ho ho, so funny. What's happened here?
I came out at the crack of dawn to talk business with Ty, our club pro. Pretty early, not long after sunup. We early birds were the first out onto the course when I came upon this poor creature, beached by the sand trap. Something was next to him, a piece of something. Something human.
Human. Unlike me, with my wonky face and weird expression. Is the golf course in any kind of legal trouble?
Legal trouble? Oh, no. No, I gave you the wrong impression. By business, I meant club business. I'm on the board. Really, Ty and I were just shooting the breeze about the upcoming golf tourney.
Do you often get here before sunrise?
Often I do. The older I get, the earlier a riser I've become. And with a popular course like this, the height of the season, it's first come, first teed off. This course, this club, it's a lifesaver for an old bench jurist like me.
Do you often see alligators on the course?
Seen a few. This land belonged to other creatures before we country club animals turned it into a golf course, you know. But there have never been reports of attacks, much less a gator munching on a spare body part.
It's good to see you, Judge. It's nice having a witness who knows the ropes.
Thank you. Not to be rude, but I need to get back to my study, a project I'm working on. Anything comes up, Ms. Duquesne, besides that regurgitated arm, let me know what you need. And give my best to Horatio Kane. You've got the finest crime lab supervisor in the South. Always happy to help you CSIs out.
That's it for the witnesses. Let's see if our Gator has anything to tell us.
Gator. So, we've got here, we've got the arm, so let's take a
Looks
closer
like
look.
our friend here crawled up on the golf tee for a solitary snack. We've got a severed arm. I wonder if there are more human remains inside the Gator. This is a job for the morgue.
But we can pick up the arm, probably.
This is definitely a human forearm. So where is the rest of our victim? Still walking around? Or stowed away in the Gator?
Annoying how you have to wait for those little bits to pop up. They take forever. So what you can do is actually take a closer look at stuff. And see what looks like bite marks from the Gator, blood. But there is a weird looking stuff at the end here. And using a swab.
This oily substance is worth sampling for lab analysis.
There we go. Bit more evidence. So let's have a look at this gash.
We've got a long, deep gash across the creature's abdomen. It indicates a probable scrap with another gator. It's likely the alligator died from this wound, which is so deep the animal's intestines are spilling out. It's probably better to examine this more closely at the morgue.
Well, you know where we're going next then? To the morgue!
Hey there, new recruit. I'm Alex Woods. Welcome to the morgue. No need to be uneasy here. Unlike my clients, you can come up and go as you like. I'm here to help you, so don't be shy to ask me anything. How a Vic died, maybe even what the murder weapon was. So what can I do for you?
Well, amazingly, that model isn't actually too bad. It's definitely not the worst in the game so far. Can you recover the alligator for me?
That lizard is a tad too big to fit onto one of my tables. What I can do is remove its internal organs and give you a look at the creature's inside secrets. Now, I am not an expert on alligator anatomy, but a zoology course I took in grad school gave me some basics about species habits and physiology.
Does grad school education applicable all these years later? So, how would an alligator end up on a golf course?
And not even a Palm Glen member. Most likely the creature crawled up onto land to enjoy its snack uninterrupted. May have been in some competition for this meal. By the way, the alligator appears to have been in a recent fight with one of its own.
Interesting. How quickly could an alligator kill a person?
Very quickly. An alligator will clamp onto its prey and roll it till its neck snaps, or it'll drag it underwater until it drowns. A moot point, however. This Vic was already dead when the gator had its lunch.
Interesting. Can we get an approximate time of death from a forearm?
Working from a section of waterlogged forearm, I can give you only an educated guess. 2 to 4 days.
That's far more information than I would have expected. Can you examine the alligator's stomach contents?
Be my guest. Digestion slows during cold months, allowing them to go for weeks without feeding, but it's been warm lately. Acid in their stomachs do most of the work, though it's aided by ingested stones in the alligator's stomach that mechanically breaks down food.
And it wouldn't be CSI if there wasn't some weird zoom in and special effect. So let's take a look at this thing. So we've got what looks, is that something down here? And it is. Looks like, I don't know, bracelet or something? Let's pick
Silver
this up.
bracelet. Could we have a female victim?
And looks like something sticking out over here.
It's a memory card from a PDA. Stomach acid damage could be a problem for data recovery.
Wow, how can you tell that was from a PDA? It's just an SD card, it could be from anything. Oh, let's see. And nope, doesn't seem to be anything else we can click on. Let's see what we can do with our evidence, shall we?
Welcome to the lab. I'm Valera, your one-stop shop for evidence analysis. If you want me to start processing evidence for you, click and drag a piece of evidence from your toolbar over to me.
Okay, I'll give you some evidence if you please promise to actually turn around and don't look as if you're currently trying to break your neck. And what the hell is going on with this pose? That's just weird. Ugh, that's just very weird. Let's start with trace, I guess.
A dark, viscous solution. Oil residue. Somehow it was either smeared or dripped onto that severed arm. I'll send it over to the microscope to give you a better look.
And what we got? An arm?
First time in the lab and you're already putting the arm on me?
Ugh.
No problem. I'll collect the DNA and shoot it over to the computer. That'll get you started. Extracting DNA is a cinch. Break up the cells, denature the proteins, and voila, fibrous DNA precipitate. Waiting in the computer for you.
And the...
You know I'm a government employee and can't accept gifts, but I do appreciate the thought.
Well, we'd appreciate your thoughts on this trinket.
High quality, judging by the style, could be a man's. Custom job. Note the inscription, 4th Annual Palm Glen Team Champions. That's about it.
Well, I'm glad you're here to read that, seeing that we can't read it ourselves. And here's a memory card.
Memory card. The Gator's stomach acid did a number on the data, but I recognize the format. It's from a PDA. The only thing I got from it was a scrambled data string. You can use a special link in the computer to access a cryptography interface to sort it out. But here's a bonus. A lot of the user's stylus strokes were recorded. Fragments, but still enough for handwriting analysis.
I don't know about you guys, but when I did use a PDA that had a stylus, my handwriting looked so much different and worse. It wasn't great to start with, but it looked so much different and worse, so that's interesting. So, let's have a look at our DNA. So you've got to search for it if you've only got one. And when the progress bar is finished, you get, hey, some possible matches. So you then got to manually, with your eyes, examine it to see if it matches. If it does, then you know who it is. If it doesn't, then you have to find something to match it against. And this looks pretty similar, but that bit there is different, so it's not that. It looks very similar again, but are they just trying to trick us? That bit's different. That bit's different again. Different again, and
not sure we have a match here.
No match. Oh well. Means we need to find someone to check it against. Oh, and let's take a look at this memory card. Right. Confession time. I'm horribly dyslexic, which means I have great difficulties with spelling and with my memory, which means puzzles like this and ones where you have to memorize a sequence are particularly difficult for me. So let's try and do my best with this one and see how quickly we can get it. Now, normally I would try and start with single letters and usually go with either an A or an I. So in this instance, let's try going with I. And that gives us some stuff. And then we've got an I, an apostrophe, and 2 letters. So it's either going to be something like it's, or I've, or something like that. So, not sure. Let's try I've. And that's filled in a few more letters, which is good. Yeah, I really do hate these word puzzles. 2-letter words. Could be it. Or is. Let's try it. That didn't really help. Another 2-letter word, or many 2-letter words. Let's try am. Oh, that's something me, see me? Probably see me, maybe. Oh, that looks right. Hey, we're getting somewhere with this. Wonder if that could be... Never see me. Oh, that has to be again, doesn't it? Yeah, that's looking good. I am... That has to be ending. Right. Now. I'm ending right now. That's my... That's from... I've done. Ooh, that's you. 2 letters. And
great work.
Hey!
It's an interesting message. What could it mean? But as Valera said, we've at least got a handwriting sample from the memory card for comparison.
Back in the days when people actually still had PDAs and not just smartphones, eh? Lucky. And we've got something to look in the microscope, I believe.
Looks like an industrial lubricant. High levels of contaminants suggest a mechanical use.
Oh, I'm sure she's used to seeing lubricant with high levels of mechanical use, eh? Well, let's find out more information about this bracelet, which should be from our Golf Pro. Do you recognize this bracelet?
Yeah. It belongs to Tim Cole, or maybe his son, Russ.
Wow, that's oddly specific. Oh, dear lord. Two people with the exact same bracelet?
Sure. They won the matching bracelets at the father and son tourney a couple years back. Scored the club record, in fact. Each year has its own distinctive design.
Well, how convenient for us, eh? And I guess that's everything. Well, we've got some victims, so let's see if we can get an address for them.
You're the new recruit, aren't you? Yelena Salas. If you ever need a warrant, interrogation, address, or any other information, you come see me.
Well, we have. Didn't you get me the address to the Cole home?
No problem. Just let me check.
And that hair
Here
doesn't
it
look like
is.
it's attached
Number
to her head.
6, Heaven's Heights.
It's like a helmet that's been put on. I swear, like the body is moving through the hair. It's just weird. Is there a mouse all the way over there as well? That's their mouse over there. How do you even use it? Well, let's go to the Cole home. Ooh, establishing shot. Video establishing shot. Or he ripped straight from the show.
Miss Cole, we're with the crime lab. We have a few questions for your husband and your son.
Tim and Russ aren't here. Maybe I can answer your questions.
I swear I've heard that voice before. Bet she's just done voice acting for everything. Do you recognize this bracelet?
Could be Tim's, or maybe Russ's. They had identical ones from that father-son tournament they won. Russ takes after his father in absent-mindedness, always leaving things behind, the both of them.
They both leave each other behind? Seems weird. When was the last time you saw your husband?
Tim, I haven't seen him since I kicked him out last week. And if I never see him again, that's still too soon.
Well, you seem awfully cheerful and chipper about it, don't you? Why did you kick your husband out?
The usual reason. He was fooling around. Lately, he was caught up in one of his hottest, heaviest affairs, and let me tell you, I'm fed up. Not that I've ever been Tim's sole biological interest.
What a way to put it. And she seemed so eager to share that hottest affair stuff as well. So very weird. So Tim had interests other than you?
You probably don't know that Tim's a biologist. He specializes in alligators and other lizards indigenous to this area. Takes one to know one, I guess. Anyway, that's why we live so near the Everglades.
Yes, we can see that. This tributary you're on feeds right into the swamp. Interesting.
Interesting. Who was Tim having an affair with?
Ronnie Landon, Ty's wife? She's not a lizard, more a snake. What Tim sees in that tramp is beyond me. And he's not just cheating on me. Ty is one of his best friends, supposedly.
Oh, got something else to ask that golf pro? When was the last time you saw your son?
I've talked to him on the phone every day or so, but for the last week he's been in Louisiana at football camp. He's a senior in high school and a jock, like his dad used to be. Paid his own way, too, using his birthday money. Gives a mum pause, you know, son turning legal adult. But he's a good boy.
My son paying for a football camp with his own birthday money? That doesn't sound right at all. That doesn't sound right. Why have you... Asking her now, why are you getting a divorce?
I've filed half a dozen times. Tim swore over and over that he'll change, that it's me he loves, and talked me out of leaving him. But this is it. Never again. Ronnie thinks she and Tim are soulmates. She's filed for a divorce from Ty, the poor slob.
Is it me? Does she seem to be sort of disabled? Not disabled, but sort of Like, a lower half of her body does not move. Look, perfectly still. It's just her arms, really. And her torso. It's just weird. Oh, anyway, Ronnie has filed for divorce.
You'll have to ask her, but word at the Glen is Ronnie's been after Ty to sign for ages.
Why do you think Ty's refusing to get a divorce?
Big Dummy loves the little slut and wants to reconcile, I guess. Ronnie's been leaning on the judge, Judge Lawford, trying to get the old boy to reason with Ty. Sometimes I think his honor gets off in his old age on being around the Palm Glen soap opera.
Oh, it's all a little incestuous so far, isn't it? Do you mind if we take a look around?
Go for it. Just stay where I can see you.
And can we get a sample of your DNA?
DNA? If you're trying to match my genes to Russ, then you're wasting your time. He's Tim's son from a previous relationship. I treat him like my very own. But biologically, he's not. On the other hand, if you think I'm a suspect, you better get yourself a warrant first.
Seems like the word biological a lot, doesn't she? Oh, let's take a look around, shall we? And those planks look a little out of place, don't they?
Huh. It's a new deck, but someone's already done some repair work. We're gonna need a warrant to get us under the deck, though. I'll snap a photo.
Let's see if we can sneak under there anyway.
Without permission? We'll need a warrant to get under here.
But there's something... Oh, okay. Damn warrants. No. Oh, we've got stuff over here. Ooh. Did that cut the arm? Let's try taking it.
Handsaw. For recent repairs to the deck, maybe?
Possibility. Oh. Hey, what's that on the end there? Can we look at that? More detail? And... Hey, yes we can. Whatever this is.
Okay, let's take this fiber to the lab.
And let's take this as well, because, hey...
An artist brush and watercolors. Someone creative in our midst?
We just have to steal everything. It's like a point-and-click adventure, except you're solving murder. Can we look at the boats?
We can't check out the boat itself without a warrant or permission. We've got neither.
Well, there we go. We have neither. Should we process the evidence? Or should we go talk to our golf pro? Let's see if we can process some of this evidence.
Yes? This hair is not human, and there's no skin tag. But I'll send it over to the microscope. Maybe you can discover what animal it comes from by looking at the scale pattern. Nothing else for you on that.
You can't tell anything from a picture? What sort of CSI are you? Art supplies.
Nothing new to report.
Oh, you're useless.
What we have here is a handsaw.
Well
Brand new
done.
and quite sharp.
That's everything. Gee.
What now?
Yeah, there. Thought there was an extra
I
question
can't do
missed.
all of your work for you. But I can tell you this much. The missing hand was chopped, not gnawed. This is the work of a blade, not animal teeth.
Ooh, well that's interesting with the saw blade that we just got. Could a carpenter's saw used to dismember the victim?
Not likely.
Oh.
The wound's cut marks do not indicate the back and forth sawing motion you would expect from such a tool. Look for something bigger.
That wasn't as useful as I thought.
Hey, let's
What do you know
just
about
say
the
there's a
Mary
lot of
message?
scoring at a club like this that doesn't take place on the links. That note could be just about anybody. Wish I could be more help.
Was Ronnie cheating on you?
You know, I'd like to help, but you're poking into personal matters. A lot of people get the wrong idea about Ronnie. Hey, who hasn't made a few mistakes? I'll get back in the swing of this marriage, you'll see.
Who hasn't made a few mistakes, left to your best friend? Those things just happen, you know? And did Ronnie send you your divorce papers?
Isn't that part of the public record? I won't deny it, but that's just a symptom. We'll cure the disease with some counseling and by trying really, really hard. You gotta work at a marriage, you know?
Like it's a disease. Did we get anything extra? Not really.
What do you need?
Well, let's see if we can track down Russ Cole.
We'll see if he's at the Louisiana football camp or not. Should be easy, but you'll have to leave it with me for a bit.
Let's see if we can talk to the cheating wife. Can we speak to Ronnie Landon?
Give me a moment. Okay, here's her address. Palm Glen and 14th.
That screen did not change. That screen did not change at all. Just lazy. Alright, let's go see the Landons. And oh yeah, another establishing shot. Because you gotta know where you are at all times. And how else can you do it apart from an establishing shot? Is that Ronnie Landon? Who are you?
Jessica Landon. Who are you?
Oh,
Crime
okay.
Lab. You must be Ty and Ronnie's daughter then, right? We have just a few questions.
Where is your mother?
In the garage. Go and talk to her if you got questions.
Do you know Tim Cole?
Sure, yeah, I know him. I mean, I know who he is. Friends with my parents. They all live on the golf course.
Do you know Russ Cole?
He's my boyfriend. We've been together forever, like 6 months or something. Wait. This doesn't have something to do with, like, that thing my dad found on the golf course, does it?
We don't know yet. We're just following leads. Don't worry.
When was the last time you saw Tim?
Tim is not exactly part of my crowd, okay?
Do you know where we can find Tim?
Like I said, it's not like he's on my speed dial. He is my parents' friend, not mine. I mean, talk to them.
Like, talk to them. Well, how was your relationship with Russ?
It was going fine, except for how my parents felt about him. They kept putting pressure on me that Russ didn't appreciate. For some reason, my parents think he's beneath me. Or maybe they're afraid I'm beneath him. And then suddenly Mom, after all the put-downs, started to take this weird interest in Russ.
Oh, I don't like where that was hinting. When was the last time you saw Russ?
A week? He went off to football camp. He is so buff. He's gonna get a scholarship, I just know it. And the sooner he gets away from those creep parents of his, the better. His mom, in particular. Always makes him feel like he's in the way. You know what it's like to think like nobody wants you? Well, I want him. And that's what counts.
What? The stepmother was lying that she said that she treated him like the family? How'd you get that bruise?
What bruise? Oh, this little thing? Tripped down the stairs, I guess. Those things are like my worst enemy.
That bruise?
I get more bumps and scrapes running up and down those stairs than on the soccer field.
That just about blends in with
That's
the
all
background.
the questions we have for now.
They could have at least got it to point at it or something, you know? Done a bit of animation. Well, let's go in. This must be the mother. Are you Ronnie Landon?
Why, yes. May I help you people with something?
Miss Landon, we're with Miami-Dade CSI. Could we speak with you in private?
This is private enough. My daughter Jessica's outside, and if this is some kind of police business, I'd just as soon deal with it out here. What's up?
Were you having an affair with Tim Cole?
Whoa, you don't fool around, do you?
Unlike you.
Well, even if this were any of your business, I'd have to say you are seriously confused. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Were you trying to get a divorce from your husband?
Hey, hey, hey! What gives you the right to walk in off the street and start asking these outrageous personal questions. I mean, geez Louise.
Miss Landon, our job is asking the tough questions.
Well then, tough. You can ask away, but my personal business is my personal business. Anything else I can do for you lovely people?
That's all the questions we have for now.
She wasn't helpful, was she?
Can I help you out in this case?
Hey, I was hoping she was going to tell us about Russ Cole, but hey, we can go talk to Judge Lordford instead.
He's retired. He'll be at his home, or should I say his estate. Pretty nice digs. I'll get the address for you.
Oh, what has a judge been doing to get some nice digs, eh? Crooked judge. And our fourth establishing shot of the case. Oh, dear Lord, how high up is that chair? He's higher up than Callie Duquesne. It's like, what? It's either he's absolutely massive, or that chair is so high up his legs are dangling off the end like a child. Weird. But then that just seems to sum up this game.
And what can I do for you, fine CSIs?
Were you counselling Ronnie for a divorce?
Yes, I was. Not my specialty, but I'm capable of lining up the little legal details that make for an airtight divorce case.
Because you're a lawyer? No, you're a judge. Does Ty know you're involved in a divorce counselling?
Remember when I mentioned I was talking to Ty the morning we found that alligator on the course? Part of what I was discussing with him was that very subject. I was concerned that Ty would be upset with me. We're friendly, after all. Didn't want him thinking I'd taken sides in the matter. I explained to Ty that my biggest concern was for their young daughter, Jessica. High school is such a traumatic, turbulent time. And then to have so much turmoil swirling around the child at home. But she's a strong girl. She'll make it, even if her parents don't.
Should high school really be a traumatic time? That doesn't sound right to me. Maybe see the divorce papers.
They'll be with the law firm I do consulting with, but they should be on record. I don't imagine I have to instruct a CSI on the proper procedure for acquiring the document.
And that seems to be everything from him. You know what we've not done? We've not looked at the scene since the alligator got removed. Let's take a look, shall we? And hey, he's gone. And we have blood. And what do we do when we see blood? We luminol it.
Blood indicates the gator may have left a trail that was washed away from the sprinklers early this morning. It's too bad the rest of it isn't visible.
That's why we have luminol. Luminol.
Gator was injured, probably from a scrap with another gator. Our late lizard crawled out of the swamp and died on the links.
Nice bit of
The blood
dinosaur
trail
sounds.
will likely lead us up to where the gator crawled onto the golf course. Probably around that bridge over there. Let's check it out.
And before we go,
We'll just swab the ground and get a sample for the lab.
always got to get a sample for the lab. I don't want to click near her just in case. Actually, is that blood?
This appears to be where the gator crawled out to make its way to the course. The animal's condition may have induced this regurgitation. Its lunch may have started coming up even before the gator made it onto the fairway.
Nice. Alligator puke.
We'd better take that along to show the lab.
Oh, I'm sure they'll love it. Is that something over there as well? Oh, yes.
Try again, with something similar. This bit of plastic is worth showing to Valera.
Because you've always got to keep using the right tool. And you can't use luminol in this big patch of blood. I think it's time to go back to the lab.
Hey.
So we got some plastic.
Well, here's an appetizer you don't see on every plate. Plastic covered in alligator intestine. I'll send it to the microscopy equipment for you.
Thank you. And some blood.
First, this isn't human blood. And you may have guessed we don't exactly have an alligator DNA database to check.
Why not? And
animal regurgitation, specifically alligator heavy on human contents. Takes a strong stomach in this biz, but you're pushing it, guys.
That's what we like to do, push things. Let's see if we can get that divorce papers.
Hey, what do you need?
Can you get me a copy of Ronnie Landon's divorce papers?
If you hang on for a second or two, I'll print a copy out for you.
And again, the monitor doesn't change.
Here you go. There's also a nice scan of Ronnie Landon's signature on it. Enjoy.
I'm absolutely amazed there wasn't a sound of a dot matrix printer.
What's up?
We have a document here.
I compared Ronnie Landon's signature on the divorce papers with the memory card writing and a match. Am I good or am I good?
Do you think Ronnie might want to explain herself?
Wow, she managed to say that without moving her mouth. That was just creepy. Alright, let's go talk to the wife again. Where is Jessica now?
In the house. Since she found out, she spends a lot of time in her room, alone, crying. Right now, I'm giving Jess her space.
Did you write a note to Tim on his PDA?
Not that I remember. Why would I?
Heather tells us her husband was in a relationship with you, Miss Landon. We have a message from a memory card with handwriting that matches your signature on the divorce documents.
I don't know why Heather is advertising this other than her own warped sense of self-importance. But Tim and I have spent time together, yes. We're friends. Close friends.
I like how they matched it to a signature. Now, my signature looks nothing like my regular handwriting, and it's barely the same twice in a row. So, they've got some really good people there. But, well, let's get back to it. When was the last time you saw Tim?
Wait a minute. That arm Ty found. Is it Tim's? Has something happened? Oh, God. If something's happened to that man because of our friendship, I will never forgive myself.
We haven't identified the owner of the arm, but then again, we can't find Tim. When did you see him, Miss Landon?
Oh, at least a week. You see, we broke it off. Or anyway, I broke it off. Instead of wanting to throw me out, my husband said he loved me, wanted to keep trying, make a go of it. And I realized what a good man I really had. As for Tim, he left his PDA in my house. When I saw him at the club, I gave the thing back to him, with a little note I wrote on it.
So you went from being just friends to lovers, I guess, in the space of 2 sentences. Very good. Why didn't you say that to start off with? Does your husband know about the affair? No, I swear he just said he did.
Of course he does. He may not be brilliant, but he's not stupid, and he's certainly not blind. Tim is Ty's best friend. They golf every weekend together. Some secrets just won't stay hidden. And when my teenage daughter Jessica learned what was going on and was upset, I really understood how out of line I'd been. Nothing's more important than our children, you know? That's partly why I'm back with Ty. This is painful. Can we...
He's not dumb or stupid, and he's not blind, but you still expected him not to notice the affair. You're not exactly the brightest bulb in the pack, are you? What was Ty's reaction, by the way?
He went ballistic. Not at me, but at Tim. Went out to the Glen and a shouting and shoving match started. Oh, God. I thought Ty was going to kill him on the spot, but some of the members managed to break it up. The judge was a big help.
Oh, Mr. Judge, eh? Can we take a look around?
Well, sure. Just stay out of my husband's things. Ty's territorial about his possessions.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Very territorial, it seems. But you're not. Ooh, something green.
Try a similar tool. Plastic shreds. Small, but possibly important.
Maybe similar to the plastic shreds we've seen already. And some golf clubs.
Russ Cole's clubs at the Landon house. Why? Heather might know.
We have to ask her, won't we?
If Russ drew this, the kid's got talent. Why is Ronnie his subject, though?
And what's that there? Is that another hair? Oh no, we need tweezers. Blink.
We've got a piece of something. Hair? Stuck to the portrait.
Ooh. And let's take the picture as well. Let's see what she has to say about that, eh? What was your relationship with Russ Cole?
I don't like the sound of relationship. But I will point out, Russ had his 18th birthday before we became friendly. So if this is about statutory rape, try again.
Ugh, really? Husband and son? Why is this golf clubs in your garage?
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
You just know where his balls have been. That right? What do you know about this portrait in his golf bag?
Beats me. I thought you were the investigators.
That's all the questions we have for now.
And we will be back. Let's talk to Heather again. Actually, there's another set of golf clubs.
5 clubs in the bag, 9 less than standard PGA maximum regulation. There are quite a few missing.
Whose are they?
Tim Cole's golf bag. He must have been given the bum's rush out of here before he could grab his favorite toys. If he isn't our Vic, he'll come back for him.
And look at that, what looks like a fingerprint.
This print from the golf bag needs to be run at the lab.
Yay, more evidence to run. Do you know where your son's golf clubs are?
Well, if they're not around here, then Russ must have lugged them along to Louisiana.
What if we told you that they're not around here, or in Louisiana?
Hey, there's nothing more I can tell you about that.
Why were the planks on your deck replaced?
I don't know anything about that.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Don't seem to know much, do you?
Yes?
We've got more evidence for you.
Animal hair. I'll put it under the microscope for you so you can identify the species.
And...
That's in the image enhancement and microscopy equipment. Where else?
Oh.
Our tech, Joseph Kale, makes fingerprints wave hello. Thanks to him, that print's in the computer waiting for you. I'll tell him you were grateful.
Hey, who says we're grateful?
My kind of evidence. Wish some guy would draw a portrait of me like this. Flattering and so romantic. Way more romantic than severed limbs and alligator guts, don't you think?
What could be more romantic than severed limbs and alligator guts? People don't know romance anymore. Well, let's take a look at...
The paintbrush hair matches what we collected from the portrait. We're getting somewhere.
There we go, the portrait was done at that house. I assume that means plastic bag and... nope, they don't match. Let's take a look at our new fingerprint. Searching, searching, searching. Right, this is another sort of visual game you have to try and match up. Nope. I swear this one's a lot simpler than other ones where you had to actually click on sort of joins and stuff to try and match it up. This is literally just a... Oh, I think that's a match.
Heather's fingerprint. An old B&E charge. She's probably a tall enough girl to use those clubs.
And I think we got all that information. Let's see if we know anything about Russ Cole.
Can I help you out in this case?
Oh, still no information. Let's go talk to the judge, shall we?
That's all I've got for you.
Oh, okay. We have evidence that Russ created a portrait of you.
Yes, he's a sweet, gentle boy. An unusual combination of athlete and artist. Funny thing is, I misjudged him. I thought he was just another bonehead jock, and I detested that shallow mother of his, and I couldn't stand the thought of my Jessica being with him. So I made a kind of sacrifice. I was doing it for my daughter. And then the poor young fool started talking about loving me, and he drew that lovely portrait, and I just felt terrible about the whole affair.
Mothers are doing it for their daughters. That just, does Ty know your relationship with Russ?
Would you like to hear a sad story?
Oh, we're gonna hear it anyway.
Not long ago, Ty told me he'd be working late. What he was really doing was arranging a romantic evening for us at a local hotel. He came home much earlier than expected, holding an armful of roses for me. Me? I was holding Russ.
How did Ty react when he walked in on you two?
Funny thing is, he didn't get mad. All the blood drained out of his face. His eyes looked dead. He just swallowed and backed out of the bedroom and disappeared for a while. It wasn't till later at the club that he lost it and punched him out. That's when I knew I still loved Ty. After all these years, suddenly, he's my champion again. And I didn't even deserve it.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Go to beat up a guy, and they will love you back again. It's a romantic story for the ages. Let's see what he has to say about all this. What can you tell me about your wife's affair with Tim?
All right, but I trust this is confidential. It's not something I like to advertise. I have a position at the club that commands a certain respect. I'm a manager and an athlete, and I have a certain image to maintain that doesn't go along with having a wife who sleeps around. How much of a man could I be if I'm not satisfying my woman? How much? That's what people think. What I think they think anyway.
Well, I think they think, I think, they think, I think, they think, think. Maybe. Thinking. Why are you keeping secrets from us?
Is it a crime to be discreet? To choose not to air your dirty laundry? I'll deal with this in my own way.
Did you assault Tim Cole?
That's overstating it. Wasn't like that at all. Oh, I lost it all right. Told Tim and Ronnie what I thought of them. But it didn't quite come to serious blows or anything.
Yeah. Why would your wife tell me you assaulted Tim Cole?
She sees it from her end of the telescope. I see it from mine. Why not check with somebody impartial who witnessed the thing? Like Judge Lawford.
That's all the questions we have for now.
There was a telescope? Why was she looking at you at a telescope? Wouldn't she have been right there? That's just silly. Well, Judge, let's know what happened between Ty and Tim.
Don't you mean Ty, Tim, Jessica, and Russ?
All four were involved? You didn't say that before.
Where young people are concerned, I tend to be, shall we say, judicious about what I say. It seems Russ has been spending an unusual amount of time with Ronnie.
You mean Russ's father has been spending time with Ronnie?
No, I am not senile, Ms. Duquesne. I said what I meant.
I meant what I said.
Lord, the things people do to each other. Even in all my years, I am still able to be surprised by the casual depths of human cruelty. If you insist, I'll fill in the details as best I can.
The things that humans do to each other, like have sex. The disgusting nature of it all. Well, can you elaborate on the relationship with Tim, Russ, Jessica, and Russ? All of them, all four of them? I'm sure you will.
First, I have to say that to me, Palm Glen is a family. Dysfunctional, I will grant you,
Incestuous.
but a family. And I care about all these people. I don't want you getting the wrong idea about me. I'm not just some old busybody, but I do try to provide counsel and support. Anyway, young Russ and Jessica were sitting at a table at the club, and they weren't getting along. It was getting loud and out of hand. Finally, it simply exploded, with the two young people on their feet in each other's faces, screaming. Soon, everyone present realized that Jessica knew her mother had been sleeping with Russ. And then, suddenly, the boy's father, Tim, added himself to the mix, really going off on the girl. You would think he'd be upset with his son, but instead he turned his fury on that poor child, Jessica, calling her a slut like her mother. The girl, to her credit, stood up to him, and the boy's father did something unspeakable. He grabbed the girl and shook her. Suddenly, Ty was in the room, and he rushed over and knocked Tim down. Ronnie witnessed it all, though she wasn't in the thick of it. I tell you, it was a horror show. Violence, emotion, sex. I'm sure some club members were thrilled. I was sickened.
Sickened by the violence and emotion and sex. Sex. Ty assaulted Tim, but he said he didn't.
Ty's an athlete. He knocked Tim down. I'd be surprised if Tim's nose didn't get broken.
Do you think that Ty could have killed Tim or Russ?
Both Ty and Tim were out of control. Ty threatened to kill both father and son. But whether it was a real threat or bravado, that I can't judge. For that matter, Tim grabbed Jessica by the wrists and called her forgive this quote, a slut, just like your mother. Quite a scene, really.
Didn't you already say that quote already? Do you need to quote it again?
That's all the questions we have for now.
Well, let's see if we know anything more about Russ.
Hey, what do you need?
Hey, have you heard anything from Russ yet?
Russ never made it to that football camp.
Ooh.
I'm in touch with Louisiana authorities and hope to track him down. Otherwise, he may well be our victim.
Dun dun dun. Can we get parental permission to interview Jessica Landon?
Let me get this straight. Jessica's boyfriend Russ is seduced by Jessica's own mother, Ronnie? And Tim, the boyfriend's father, gets abusive with Jessica. Both Tim and Russ are missing and are linked to the severed arm. That's some major involvement for a minor. I'll contact her mother and make it happen.
And that was a real mouthful for a recap. How long have you known about your mother's affair?
I don't know. Forever, last week. It's not the kind of thing you mark down in your day planner, you know. I mean, it's like devastating. When Mom cheats on Dad, she cheats on me. On all of us. The whole family.
Ding, 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 ding. Did you ever try to tell your father about your mother's affair with Tim?
Funny, he's usually really easy to talk to. He's cool for a dad. But whenever I tried to, bring up my suspicions, he would just ignore it. Pretend he didn't even know what I was talking about.
When did you find out that Tim's mother was sleeping with Russ? Or when your mother?
Not till that night at the Palm Glen. When he dumped me for my own mother. Do you know how that made me feel? To have the two people I love most in my life betray me like that. What was up with Russ anyway? Is he like some kind of sick pervert or something? I mean, my mother? She's so old.
So old. Ew. Well, why are Russ's clubs at your garage?
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Let's do another round of asking people questions.
That's all I can think of right now.
Well, do you often golf?
Nope, I hate that sport. If you can call it one, that is.
Then maybe you just like to caddy.
Do you know that Russ was sleeping with Ronnie?
I knew after that public display of theirs at the Glen. Ronnie's lucky my son is 18, or I'd have you people on that round-heeled whore for statutory rape. If Ronnie Landon killed my husband, and I would not be surprised if she did, she should rot in jail, and then rot in hell.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Oh, tell us what you really think, love.
Can't help you. Sorry.
Well, let's see if we can have a look.
What do you need?
In that garage a bit more.
Good call. So Ronnie's sleeping with both Colemen, and Ty is threatening to kill them both. Let's poke around some more in the Landon garage.
Let's go! We have a warrant to search your husband's belongings.
I can't say I'm pleased to hear that. This has to mean Ty had something to do with Tim and Russ disappearing. But go ahead. His stuff's mostly behind the truck. I'll get it out of the way for you. I was headed out for groceries anyway.
We'd appreciate it.
Oh, look at that. That's ripped.
Window's
Ooh.
been broken.
You can zoom in on it. That usually means there's something.
Looks like a hasty repair with a plastic bag.
Like the plastic we saw by the Gator vomit. And, ooh, I think that's the telltale sign of a fingerprint.
We'll run that print at the lab. Progress. I like it.
Don't we all? Let's see if we can look inside these. Oh, is that a hand?
I've got human remains here. It's a severed hand.
That's a hand.
Well, this is a sickening discovery, but now we have a much better shot at IDing the victim, assuming this is the same one.
Oh, let's see if there's anything else in here. Oh, you can come over here. Very dark. We have a flashlight.
Chainsaw blade cover.
And that looks... is that blood?
Oil stain.
No, oil.
Worth having the lab ID and cross-check, don't you think?
I guess so. Let's take...
That looks like a chainsaw guard. Let's see what Valera can make of this. A chainsaw would be the perfect tool to sever a human hand, if that's your idea of a good time.
Funny that that video showed it at a deck or something rather than happening in here. Let's go to the lab. We've got a whole bunch of stuff.
What's up?
I'm gonna give you a hand.
So, somebody's finally given us a hand in this case. Now we'll have fingerprints to run and DNA for comparison.
The one-liners keep coming, eh? Well, let's take a look at this.
Guard for a chainsaw. Fits over the chain when not in use. Or did you already know that?
She told us. And we have some oily
Image
substance.
enhancement and microscopy equipment is where that's headed.
And we have a fingerprint.
Prints in the computer. Hey, don't mention it.
And
Can't come up with anything else to do on that.
okay, that's what she's given us. Right, let's take a look at our fingerprints. See if it matches anything we've got already.
Heather Cole's fingerprint, on file for an
And-
old break-and-enter charge. This puts her at the Landon homestead. I wonder which Landon invited her over. Surely not Ronnie.
Let's see if we have... Searching. Anything on the hand's fingerprint. Doesn't match. Doesn't match. Oh. I think that's a match.
It's no match. Check for differences in the details before asking me. You don't have a match here. Take a good hard look and make sure you've got a perfect match before you ask me to confirm it.
Ooh. Okay.
You might have a match here.
Really? That doesn't look anything like it.
Those don't quite seem to match.
Yeah.
Make sure you look very closely for subtle details between them. This isn't guesswork, you know.
You just said it looked like a match.
Hand and forearm, a match. DNA, a CSI's best friend. Definitely more reliable than the Palm Glen variety of best friend.
I swear she said there was a match. Oh yeah, that's a match. That does look like a match to me.
We finally have a victim. Tim Cole. Driving under the influence charge from a while back. Now we can finally get to work. However, Russ is still missing. Just because we haven't discovered any of Russ's remains doesn't mean we can cross him off as a possible victim.
I swear I did that for... Goddamn buggy bloody fucking game. Ugh, right. I think... see if we have...
Hey, what do you need?
Maybe I'd had Heather over to your house.
Why would I want to hang with old people?
Old people? Did you kill Russ Cole?
Nobody killed Russ. He's in Louisiana. Do your homework.
How would you know that Russ is in Louisiana?
He called me long distance the other night. On my cell. All weepy and apologetic and stuff. Saying how he still loved me and he was ashamed and all about making it with my mom. Would I ever forgive him? As if. He was all drunk and crying and stuff. He was having to yell over a lot of noise. I asked him what the hell was going on, and he said his buddies were helping him drown his sorrows at Mardi Gras. He wasn't at football camp. Never went.
Well, that sounds like a better use of your birthday money. How can we confirm your story?
Check with his hotel, why don't you? The Thorngate?
Did you kill Tim Cole?
No way.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Let's...
Ahead of you on this one. I've just learned Ross is being held at a police precinct in New Orleans. Drunk and disorderly with a possible pending assault and battery charge. When you get arrested in Mardi Gras, you're really having too much fun. I've arranged for you to talk to him by phone from the police station.
Oh, look at
Russ
this
Cole?
riveting
This is
scene.
Russ Cole. Is this Judge Lawford?
No, Callie Duquesne, Miami-Dade CSI. Why did you think I was the judge?
I had a call into him to help me get a lawyer. This is a mess down here. I really let my emotions run wild. Why does the CSI want to talk to me?
Russ, something terrible has happened to your father.
Yeah, I know. That's part of why things got out of hand with the drinking. Dad's dead, isn't he?
How do you know? Like, there's not been enough time for you to know.
I talked to my girlfriend. Or anyway, she used to be my girlfriend. Jessica Landon. Jess said her dad told her that a human arm was found on the golf course. And because of our matching championship bracelets, you guys with the cops figured the arm belonged to either Dad or me since we were both missing. Well, I got both my arm and my bracelet. You know, it's sick and funny. My dad wanted to protect the alligator as a species. Now went up and kills him.
That alligator didn't kill your father, Russ. He was already dead when the animal discovered him.
I swear there's time problems with a lot of this. Did you kill your father?
Why in the hell would I want to kill my own father? We were tight. We were best friends.
In the way that he and Ty Landon were best friends? Besides, you were both friendly with Ronnie Landon. Your football camp alibi is shot, Russ, and your father yelled at your girlfriend and even knocked her up. And you had plenty of time to dispose of his body before leaving the state.
But I didn't have time. Sure, I skipped football camp, but me and a carload of buds have been at Mardi Gras since it opened.
Sorry about that sneeze. That left me a bit disoriented. Do you know who killed your father?
No, but you gotta know there's a long list of people who would have done it gladly. My sainted mother, for one. Ty, of course, maybe even Jessica.
Nice to throw your family and your girlfriend and her family under the bus with a lot of people, eh? Wow. Let's talk to more people, I guess. Oh, no, she's gone. Have you ever spent time in the Landon home?
Why would I want to fraternize with those sexual delinquents, juvenile and otherwise?
Why did you find your fingerprints at the Landon home?
How should I know? Tim used to share stuff with Ty. Always loaning each other lawn equipment, tools, that kind of thing. Pals sharing possessions, including Ronnie, I guess. Among their other charming qualities, the Landons are leeches.
Meow.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Has Heather Cole ever been to your house?
Not that I know about. I mean, Heather was the only one in the Cole household Ronnie wasn't having an affair with. As far as I know, anyway.
I wish she would have an affair.
That's all the questions we have for now.
I wonder if we
What do you need?
Talk to the wife.
Can't just yet. Try finding a strong linkage between suspect and crime scene.
Hey.
Actually, we didn't look.
Oil from that severed forearm matches the oil from the Landon garage.
There we go, that should be enough.
Can I help you out in this case?
Suspects.
Ty nearly came to blows with Ronnie's young boyfriend. Plus, she filed for divorce, and obviously she had access to Ty's golf clubs. Let's see what Ronnie has to say for herself now.
What happened to your window?
Oh, that. Neighbor kid busted it the other day. A baseball. That's just a temporary patch we made with some garbage bags.
Has Heather Cole been to your house?
No. Not at my invitation, at least. It's possible Ty might have had her over. Anything seems possible now.
Cats and dogs living together. How did Tim Cole's hand end up in your golf bag?
Tim Cole's... his hand? In my golf bag? This is some terrible, sick joke. Some awful nightmare. I mean, I don't claim to be perfect. My bad judgment, my weakness in taking that boy Russ into my arms may have somehow set this terrible turn of events into motion, but I am no murderer. Obviously, somebody put that thing in my bag to frame me. If I had killed somebody, would I be so stupid as to hide part of the body in there? What about Russ? Is he all right? Tell me he is all right.
You should be more worried about yourself right now. How about I run this scenario by you? You worked your charms on Tim, the same seductive way you worked his son into your web. Russ got you in bed, his father got your golf club to the skull. You cut his body into manageable parts in your garage and were dumping them, gradually, where you figured no one would ever find them.
No! It's not true. None of it is true. Please, you have to believe me.
That's all I can think of right now.
No, you have to believe me. Believe me. That's all I can think of right now. Wow, that's a hell of a tonal whiplash there. And I like how the video showed her cutting them up at the Cole deck rather than the garage, even though she said it was the garage. I guess the script got changed? Or was they just lazy? No, we've not done. We've not talked to Alex about
Any way
this
I can
hand
help?
yet. Have you learned anything from
We're
this?
definitely assembling one puzzle from these pieces. The hand and arm come from the same person.
Da 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 da. What specific tool could have made the cut marks on the arm?
Judging by the cut marks, the arm was detached from the torso with the aid of a heavy-bladed saw.
Maybe made by a chainsaw?
A chainsaw would make a good suspect in this case.
Yeah.
That's all I have at the moment.
I wonder if we can get a warrant to look at
what do
that
you need?
deck. Let me get a warrant. Location warrant. Call home.
Well, we know Ross is alive, so we got a pretty good idea Tim is our victim. Heather's fingerprints were at the Landon home, and the Landons have never had her over. Sounds pretty suspicious to me. All right, you got your warrant, but I could only convince the judge to grant it for the deck. Not enough reason to go searching the boat yet.
That just means we've got to look at the boat later, doesn't it? There's not many red herrings so far, anyway. Well, back to the home. Talk to her. We have a warrant.
What is wrong with you people? Why aren't you questioning Ronnie Landon and giving her house a toss? She's the damn killer. But I will do anything to cooperate if it'll lead to that slut's downfall.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Slut seems to be her favourite saying. Right, let's go under the deck.
It's pretty dark in here.
Well, good thing we have a flashlight. And collect.
Scorecard from the Palm Glen with the name Cole. Odd. Date is only 2 days ago, but Heather said she hadn't seen her husband for a week.
Suspicious. Well, let's see if there is anything else under here. Don't know. Ooh, what's that? Is that blood?
Not what we need here.
Then I'm guessing that's not blood. Well, whatever it is, we've got it. Let's take a look at what it is.
What's up? Nothing else for you on that. That's ready for image enhancement and microscopy.
Good to know.
Oil from the coal deck matches oil from the garage.
Hey, well, let's see what she has to say about that scorecard. What can you tell me about the 2-day-old scorecard?
I don't know anything about that.
Of course you don't. Let's see if we can investigate more.
Can I help you out in this case?
Let's see if we can get our last location.
If you want to put her away for murder, you will have to get more direct evidence she actually killed him. You've got your warrant for the coal boat.
Well, I actually thought she was denying us for a second there. What a terrible line read. Or a terrible line. Ooh, is that some blood? Seems to be oh, it is blood. Luminol to the rescue.
Even the best spring cleaning doesn't get out all the spots. Okay, we need to get this blood swab to the lab.
And
a bit of plastic. It might be possible to match it to another sample.
So we have plenty of samples. And to the lab.
Hey.
Evidence. Take that.
Amplified and graphed that DNA, scanned it into the computer already. Go for it.
And have some plastic as well.
That's in the image enhancement and microscopy equipment. Where else?
I don't know. Where else? And you don't have anything specific if I click on you. Alright, let's go to the computer. Boat. And severed hand. And
Tim Cole's blood is on that boat and the coal deck. Think we found our crime scene?
I think so. And how do we know it was on the deck? It was just on the boat.
Plastic from the coal boat is an exact match to the plastic from the reptile's stomach. It might suggest the body was wrapped, then dumped. I've got a hunch that we found yet another body part, a guilty finger pointing right at Heather Cole. I think Yelena would agree.
Well, let's get her in. I'm sure this is going to be a long and hard sort of
what do you need?
Evidence showing session or something to get her to admit to it. Suspect warrant. Heather Cole.
Heather appears to have some pent-up aggression here. And the evidence puts her at the Landon house without the owner's knowledge. I think we can bring her in.
Hello, Mrs. Cole. Glad you could join us.
I didn't realize I had a choice.
We have a few questions we'd like to ask you. We've searched your boat and found it had quite a story to tell. Tim's blood, traces of plastic used to wrap the body. Add to that a very interesting tale of infidelity.
That wasn't a question.
No, it wasn't. But this is... Why'd you do it?
Question is, why didn't I do it sooner? Tim was an abusive lech. If I could get rid of him, and at the same time rid this town of that lying slut Ronnie, I'd deserve a Citizen of the Year award.
You admit you're no golfer, Heather, but you've still got a good swing. Especially with a readily available weapon like a golf club. You scored a hole-in-one on your husband's head from behind, out on the deck where you had already put garbage bags down. Crime of passion? Maybe, but not an impromptu one. You'd already stolen Ronnie's golf club from the Landon garage and their chainsaw, which you used to dismember Tim, tidily putting his body parts in garbage bags and riding out on your pontoon boat for disposal. But you unintentionally attracted the gators your husband so loved. All that was left to do was give Ronnie a hand in her golf bag. That was over the top, Heather. What murderer would keep such a grisly souvenir just waiting for us to find?
So you figured it out. Goody for you. Tim is still deservingly dead, and my only regret is that cradle-robbing slut Ronnie Landon is still at large.
Goody for you.
Nice job. Catch your breath, then we'll put your talents to work on another case. Go to it.
Observational challenges test your memory of the case you just played. Correct answers allow you to improve your evaluation score. Good luck.
That's where we didn't really have any hard evidence on her either. Like, we just literally just went, did you do it? Yes. Yay, we've solved the case. And now we've got some observational questions. This will be fun. What was used to patch the broken window at the Landon's garage? Well, that was plastic bags, wasn't it? Yay. What was the final score in the golf cart? I have no idea. 87. What? What? I literally guessed. Which of the following was not analysed in the computer for oily surfaces? I guess specific gravity. What? No. There were what? White and green for the Palm Golf membership tags? Hey! What was the other object on the dock leading to... It was a lifeboat, wasn't it? Yes! I got one question wrong. And I got rank of Master. And there we have it. The first of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases. If this follows previous games that I've played, the first 4 cases will be sort of almost feel like generic. They're just individual cases. But suddenly the 5th case will come along and join them all together in some weird and wonderful way. So hopefully you can look forward to that very soon as I continue to play CSI Miami. So until next time, I've been the GouldFish, and this was GouldFish on Games Plays CSI Miami, Case 1. See you soon.